In a problem like number 3, it's important to keep track of your substances because you have 2 different substances. So in one color, I'll write all the information I have about ethanol. And in a different color, I'll write the information that I have about a compound called benzene. So when I read the problem, the first thing it gives me is the density of the ethanol, and that's 0.789 grams per milliliter. When I read a little further, it also gives me the density of benzene. So the density of benzene is 0.880 grams per milliliter. So they're similar, but benzene's a little more dense. It also tells you that they dissolve in each other, so that means they mix together. When 100 milliliters of ethanol, so milliliters, 100 milliliters, that decimal point just means that last zero was the estimated one. Milliliters are units of volume, so that's my volume of the ethanol, is dissolved in 1 liter of benzene. Okay, so we're talking about benzene again, so we have 1.00 liters. Okay, that's again a volume. Now careful, they do have different units. And then the question is not asking me about ethanol specifically or benzene specifically, but overall we want the mass of the mixture. So when the ethanol or benzene are mixed. Okay, so now what we've done here is we've just set up our problem. Next, see what we can do with the density equation. So D is equal to M over V. It looks like we have the density and the volume of the ethanol, so we can solve for the mass. So let's do that. So mass is going to be equal to density times volume. So actually plug those numbers in. See how your units cancel. Don't get sloppy here. So times volume is 100 milliliters. Here we have units on the top that are the same as on the bottom. We'll be left with grams, which is a good thing because mass is in grams. And we're going to get an answer here of 78.9 grams of the ethanol. Okay, what we're going to be able to do is find the mass is going to be equal to density times volume of our benzene as well. So if we can find the mass of our benzene and we can add then the mass of the benzene with the mass of the ethanol, we'll be able to get the mass of the mixture. So the density is 0.880 grams per milliliter. And then when we go to put in our volume, we realize we're not in milliliters. Okay, so let's come up here and do a quick dimensional analysis conversion. Liters to milliliters. Every 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. I told you didn't have to memorize them, but how many have that memorized? Okay, so we're going to get 1,000 milliliters as our volume in milliliters. So when we do this, we're going to get 880 grams of the benzene. And then the last thing to do is actually add those together, and we can get the mass of the mixture. So that's going to be 78.9 grams from the ethanol plus 880 grams from the benzene. And our total is 959 grams of the mixture.